Michael Clarke has got off to a great start in the second innings of this, his first ever Ashes Test match. Indeed, a strong performance from him should aid Australia's hopes for victory. Michael Clarke, the young Australian tyro in his Ashes Test debut, is aiming to make his mark on the hallowed turf of Lords. It's his first visit here, and he went for just 11 in the first innings, trapped in front by Simon Jones and Plum LBW. Michael Clarke takes guard.
Hit straight to a fielder. That brings up his half-century.
50 for Michael Clarke. The blonde bombshell from New South Wales is back as a Test match cricketer, and now if he can knuckle down 100, it's there for the taking.
Four runs.
No, that was a really good stroke. He looks in great touch out there. You can't set fields for a shot like that. Brilliant!
And that is an impressive shot.
That's it for the second session of play. Much, I think, for the fielding side to think about in the dressing room during the tea break. We'll take a short break and see you back here soon. The players and the umpires are ready now for this final session of play. Up in the commentary box is Richie Back.
Martin is now on strike. That was a no ball by Flintoff. There's the umpire signal, no ball. Flintoff at the start of his run-up. That's 50 for Martin.
That is a very, very well-deserved half-century. He's played as well as he can play. The key, make more of it.
Flintoff won't like that at all.
Miles! He's hit it miles! goes, and this bowler will be out of the attack.
Let's see the action replay of that. That went a long way back into the stands.
The straight drive is his favourite stroke. We know that, they should know that, and it shows.
That was just a kitten's whisker away from the stumps.
Oh, there's a demoralising sight for any bowler. The ball is just sailing over the fence. He's always looking for that shot. It's such a strength in his game.
What a marvellous shot. He struck 2 sixes now off this over from Giles.
Well, they're kind of relying on the middle order to improve on its effort in the first innings.
Clark waiting at the striker's end.
Ah, nicely timed. You don't need to smash the ball to the boundary every time. Sometimes ease and grace will do it.
Stopped in the covers. It looked as if he was home to me. Hit straight to a fielder. It never looked like being a run there.
You cannot afford to lose wickets like that in international cricket. Super innings. He did well out there and, of course, never let the bowlers get the upper hand.
There's his half-century.
Well played, well played. Now, get your head down and move to the next milestone, the big one, the 100.
What a marvellous catch. Oh, well taken. That's brilliant.
Would you believe it? He's picked the fielder out perfectly.
Giles gets his first wicket.
He can be happy, proud indeed with that innings. That was a beauty.
This was Clark to face an over of spin. There's his half-century.
He deserves the applaud from the crowd today. He's batted really, really well. A great stroke. My goodness, this guy can play. What a pleasure to watch him, too.
That is a glorious stroke.
No, the bowler won't be happy about that. bowler won't like that. This is exciting stuff. He has smashed that a long, long way. That is great to watch for the neutral, not so good for the bowler.
There should be some runs here.
What a breathtaking session of play that was. The tea break comes at just about the right moment for everybody to take a breather. We'll see you back here in just a moment. Exciting player. There's risk in that stroke, but it is maximum. Well, he smashed that for 4, and what a big smile on his face.
Really struck that well.
It doesn't matter if it's in the air when you hit it that far.
That's out of the ground.
What a super stroke. Do you know, I didn't think that was a bad ball either.
There's his century.
There is no better feeling than scoring 100 in a test match. What a magnificent innings that is. A disappointing first innings by the Australians, who were bowled out for 190. Now the bowling attack, which is headed by Glenn McGrath, is required to strike back immediately against the old enemy. The players and the umpires are making their way to the middle for the start of play in England's first innings. There are Marcus Trescothick and Andrew Strauss, who surely are looking to build the base for England's total. You can bet your life that the new ball specialist, the master, Glenn McGrath, has other ideas. Here's Marcus Trescothick.
McGrath is going to try over the wicket. That's a big appeal. McGrath is going to try over the wicket. That's edged and out. That was a big deflection, no doubt about it.
The fielder did very well there. He made it look easy, but actually it was a whole lot more difficult than it looked.
McGrath gets his first wicket. That's a duck for Trescothick.
Well, he hasn't troubled the scorers with that, not.
This was how the innings ended for Trescothick.
After an OK performance with the bat, Australia must be looking to rattle England with the ball. A combination of speed and spin is the best way to gain ascendancy in this test match. Ricky Ponting is about to make a bowling change. Yup, it's Shane Warne who's coming on to bowl his first ball of the innings. He'll bowl in tandem with Brett Lee. Now that's a useful combination for the Australians. Spin at one end and speed at the other as they look to make the breakthrough. And facing now is Andrew Strauss.
Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. Australia have changed their field. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch.
Oh, great shot. A great stroke. That was four from the moment that it left the bat.
He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch.
There'll be bruises to show after this encounter, plenty of them.
He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. There's the umpire signal. No ball. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. Hit straight to a fielder. Warren is going to try over the wicket. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough.
Here's Marcus Trescothick.
It really is raining quite hard out there. The covers could be on for quite a time.
Well, the rain is really starting to come down now. I guess it's looked this way for some time, and I think this could be a lengthy break. The players will be frustrated, and so are we. Hello, welcome. It's a delight to be with you again as we prepare ourselves for the day's play. The players look the business out there, and so does Richie in his seat in the commentary box.
Thanks, Mark. Lee is coming around the wicket. Lee is going to try over the wicket. Well, that's speeding to the boundary. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. Oh, comprehensively bowled.
What a cracking delivery.
Warren gets his first wicket. We can have a look at that again.
Michael Vaughan's at the wicket.
He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. That has to be close. One, he'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. Out. He's been caught.
Brilliantly taken by the fielder. Brilliant. He's backed up the bowler at a time when it was most needed.
That's a duck for Vaughan.
It is a long old walk back when you've made a duck. Quack, quack.
Lee is going to try over the wicket. Lee is going to try over the wicket. Stopped in the covers. Lee is switching to round the wicket. Really looks in fine nick today.
Beautifully played. You couldn't imagine anything better.
Warren is switching to round the wicket. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. Oh, that's close. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. 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 And the end of the over.
Well bowled, very well bowled. If you keep it that tight, the batsmen begin to feel a bit strangled.
Lee is switching to round the wicket. Lee is going to try over the wicket.
Good stroke. good stroke, but I don't think that's the place to bowl to it.
Lee is going to try over the wicket. Lee is going to try over the wicket. Got him, yes, he's out. Cracking catch. That could change the course of the match.
Oh, the batsman will be kicking himself. It was such a good shot. He looked in good touch, and it's an unbelievable bit of fielding.
Lee gets his first wicket.
Not a good way to go. And it'll play on his mind, never mind the mind of his captain.
This was the end of the innings for Chithapu.
This is Kevin Peterson. There's plenty of time left, so I guess the message is don't take any risks.
One, he'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. Lee is switching to round the wicket. That was a no ball by Lee.
His control of line and length has been exemplary today.
There's the umpire signal, no ball. Lee is coming around the wicket. Stopped in the covers. Lee is switching to round the wicket.
Yep, give the ball air and tempt the batsman into the drive, or of course down the pitch.
Lee is switching to round the wicket. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. Out, he's caught him.
Now, he made that catch look easy, but it was far from it.
Vaughan gets his third wicket.
It's been a world-class piece of bowling out there today.
Bell is out for a duck.
The scorers haven't had to do much with that innings. It's Andrew Flintoff on strike.
Vaughan will be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. Hold him.
Oh, that went right through. It's as if he misjudged the pace.
Vaughan gets his fourth wicket.
He's bowled brilliantly, quite brilliantly in fairness to him, probing and testing and challenging with every delivery.
He's gone for a duck.
A first baller, that is just so embarrassing, and rest assured there'll be a few comments from the crowd as he heads back towards the pavilion.
That has to be close. No response from the umpire.
Oh, I think that's just missing off stump. Close.
We can have a look at that again. Ponting has changed his field slightly. Lee is switching to round the wicket. He's made all around.
Bowler's made a terrible mess of the stumps.
Lee gets his second wicket.
He has bowled quite superbly. The batsmen simply haven't had an answer.
Peterson goes for a duck.
Well, he wasn't out in the middle for long. He didn't trouble the scorers, and neither did he trouble us.
Let's see the action replay of that.
With victory in Australia's grasp, the loss of top-order batsmen has suddenly made the task difficult. Warne and Lee are at the crease. Only 2 wickets are in hand. Can Australia win the second test?
Australia in desperate trouble here at 177 for 8 as Shane Warne faces up to Andrew Flintoff. It is up to the Australian tail to pull off a miracle, because for sure England can scent victory. Still a further 105 needed by the Australians if they're to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
Shane Warne is facing.
Flintoff at the start of his run-up.
Don't even bother chasing that. That's away to the bleachers.
That's a big hit. It's 6. That easily cleared the boundary.
Oh, another one of those, and this bowler will be out of the attack. Miles, he's hit it miles. Oh, good shot. Saw it early, got in position quickly and nailed it.
He was onto that in a flash. We can have a look at that again. That brings up his half-century.
Oh, 50 for Shane Warne. He is such a dangerous player. He comes at you so hard and he has such enormous self-belief. Taking guard is Bretley.
That's a brilliant shot, right off the meat at the back.
Well, he hardly seemed to hit it, and it's 6.
That's a huge 6.
Oh, there's a demoralising sight for any bowler. The ball is just sailing over the fence.
He struck 2 6s now off this over from Harmison.
Nope, the bowler won't be happy about that. Oh, it's a monster. It's pretty tough for the bowlers on a pitch like this. There doesn't seem to be any margin for error. He has smashed that a long, long way. That is great to watch for the neutral, not so good for the bowler.
And the end of the over.
Never mind the fielder, the bloke in row 10's got the best chance of catching that.
Super stuff, that. Outstanding catch.
Brilliantly taken by the fielder, brilliant. He's backed up the bowler at a time when it was most needed.
This was how the innings ended for Lee.
He showed with his pace in the first innings just what he can do.
Hardly seemed to hit that, yet it sailed over the ropes.
Exciting player. There's risk in that stroke, but it is maximum. There's plenty of time left, so I guess the message is don't take any risks. That's ideal. A perfect example of how to play that shot, and he deserved 4 for it.
That's through the gap, and it'll go for 4.
Ah, nice leg glance. The timing was there. The bowler's got a problem. You cannot bowl at this guy's legs. Oh, the bowler won't like that. This is exciting stuff.
That is a top shot.
It doesn't matter if it's in the air when you hit it that far.
Let's see the action replay of that. One facing.
Well, he smashed that for 4, and what a big smile on his face.
Steered expertly into the gap. There's just one there.
Well, you won't see anything as shambolic as that. That was a poor over.
One facing.
No, that's not the right line to bowl to this guy, not at all. He'll thrash you if you bowl there. Australia have been outplayed in this third test. The top order are well below par.